My name is Jodi Colella, and I'm a mixed media 3D artist.
So when did you decide to pursue an artistic career?
Well, I've always wanted to do it, and when I was young in high school, my plan was to go to art school, but my family did a very large move to a very big high school, and I sort of lost my courage and couldn't get myself quite organized to get the portfolio together and all that sort of thing. So I decided to go for biology instead, which I really enjoyed, which was really worthwhile also. But you know, it always is in the back of my mind. I wished I had. And then I worked in research at the Dana-Farber for 3 years, and during that time went back to school for a certificate in graphic design at Mass College of Art in Design. That's what it's called now. And then from there started working as a graphic designer. Eventually I had my own business and did that until about 2000.
In graphic design?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And then needed a break, so I took a 1-year sabbatical, but then never went back, because I wanted to take some time to reevaluate what I was doing and maybe try my hand at some of my fine art full time. And it sort of just took off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice to give a break a try and then realize that that's how your life could be full time.
I know, I'm very lucky. I had support of my family.
Excellent.
Because, you know, it's not a, let's say, profitable endeavor. So I had just reached a point where I was able to take a little bit of freedom in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So taking the responsibility of making a profit from your art was an important step, and a really a safety net, and having a safety net there was really crucial to you taking that step.
That's right. Yes, I was very lucky to have the support of my family.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. Does creative living work for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I first stopped working as a graphic designer, you know, having your own business, you're billed by I used to bill by the quarter hour. And it took me several years to get over that mentality. I mean, silly things like folding laundry. I'd say, oh, okay, 1/4 hour, you know. And it was that way with my work too. I was always very conscious of the time.
Yeah. Do you ever run into challenges as a professional artist?
It's a struggle to sustain yourself with your artwork. I continue to have the support of my family, but my goal is to, you know, I make a living, but I don't have to pay the mortgage with it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do have to make a living, and to do that, it's a real struggle. So I'm back to marketing a lot, networking a lot, spending a lot of time with social media.
Great.
The problem lies in that some art is more suitable to commercial, and others is not.
Right.
As much as people love it, it just that's just the way it is. Some is more commercial and some isn't. And if it's not part of the real commercial genre, it's much more difficult to sell on a regular basis.
Right.
And therefore support yourself. Right.
Do you have any advice for artists trying to make a living?
If you need to make a certain amount of income, unfortunately, you have to do what you need to do to make that, and then the art comes second, which I hate to say, but as long as you can carve out that special time, whether it's a night, a day, a weekend, whatever, and stick to it, I think every artist would be happier. Yeah.
So you did a residency in China last year. Could you tell me more about that?
Yes, I spent a month in southern China in a residency called Dawang Culture Highland, and I went with not really knowing what I was going to do, and not really, I did a little bit of study of China, but didn't realize now how little I knew. And it was by myself, And the residency, there were 5 of us, artists, 2 from Great Britain, 1 from Holland, and another Chinese woman artist, and myself. And but it was a very independent setting, so I was able to come and go as I wish, which a lot of China residencies are not that way. They're very controlled. It depends how much the government is involved. Yes, and this one wasn't that way, which was fantastic because the residency director was helpful in that he would always give me guidance on completing errands or travel or connecting me with people I would be interested in and things like that.
Excellent.
Yet I could go off on my own to do it.
Oh, nice.
And so that aspect of it was fantastic. Also, being in a culture like China is so very different from here.
Yeah.
In every way. The language is impenetrable. You're very much sort of half celebrity, half circus monkey because you're so different. You know, everyone gawks at you, which I actually found very fun.
Yeah.
But some people don't like it. But the people are extremely warm. It's very safe. I never felt threatened, and I went off on my own all the time.
Oh, awesome.
And I just felt like the exposure to a culture that was so different, the feelings of isolation, a lot of frustration because things just don't work over there the way they work here.
Yeah.
And so learning that the hard way, and like every day was an exercise in getting through the day.
Yeah.
But it was all great, and it just opened my eyes to culture differently. So when I came home, I was just on this culture high, and could think and do nothing but China.
Yeah.
And I'm continuing that study. However, as a result of studying China, it has led me to other cultures too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Wow.
So I'm still sort of reeling from it. I think I have a lot to work with for a long time.
Oh, that's great. So do you recommend for other artists to try out residencies?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Residencies in general are a great opportunity to get away from your daily grind. So even though I have a wonderful routine of coming to the studio, you can't get away from all the family obligations or personal obligations or work obligations, and your email, you're always, I should answer that.
Yeah.
But if you go away in residency, you have permission to just shut all that down and totally focus. Plus, if you go on residencies with lots of other artists, you open up your exposure by having encounters with all these different points of view.
Right.
And you learn a lot that way. And then if you go to somewhere like China, then like hands down, you will not be the same person when you come back.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
that's
why it's so great. It shakes you up.
Oh, yeah. So what's next?
Well, while over there, I was very much interested in their folklore and their folk art, their sort of, there's a better word for it, but let's say mythology.
Yeah.
You know how there's symbols for everything, lions and tigers and snakes and frogs, everything means something. It's such an ancient culture. It just, no stone is uncovered in terms of symbolism.
Yeah.
Everything has a symbol.
Yeah.
So I just loved that, and in investigating that, I've sort of become interested in different people's ways, particularly early people or civilizations, in their way of expressing their spirituality.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm
There's there's a lot to work with there.
Yes, I mean I'm studying the Incas and Haitian voodooism and the Ankisi in Africa, and just even the catacomb saints from Rome. I mean, it just covers it all.
Oh, yeah.
And to see that there's this sort of common link for all these civilizations from all different times really tells you something about humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about.
Excellent. So I foresee maybe future trips too.
I am counting the days before I can go back to China.
Yeah.
But I am also trying to organize some time in Peru
Oh, great.
and a few other things. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like there'll be a lot more coming out of
I
your
hope
studio.
so. Yeah.
Very
Well, I'm so
exciting.
like what's the word? Involved with process in my work that they usually take quite a bit of an investment of time.
Yeah.
So it does take a while for me to get a body together, but
Yeah.
I'm getting there with these ideas. I'm pretty close.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's- Well, thank you so much for speaking with
Thank
me
you.
today.
Thanks.
And I look forward to sharing this with the community and keeping an eye on what's to come.